afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting, amazing propaganda cast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. Off here to a 1 versus 1 own. What's it called? Let's just check here. It's Ladega Karelia. Ladega Karelia. In the west, it is Asia Mint fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Fighting here for the 2nd Armored Division. West and east, it is either Jove or Nico. I'm not entirely sure which one, but it's a current rank 3 Oberkommandos player. Basically, there's been a lot of players recently just been replacing the name with Dot. I think it's sort of a thing sort of prepared for the tournament, so they can just train in peace and quiet. I mean, trying to, for example, attack them specifically. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure. Now they're just being obtuse, but either way, I'm calling them Dieter, but I think it's based out of the Jove or Nico. But we got here Firestorm, Scavenge, and Grand Offensive for Dieter with Triple Infantry. We got Dahl Reifen versus Volkswagen Sturmpanzer Kuhwagen there for, well, the Germans. That's my pod got Basil meowing in the background. He's a bit like that at times. Seizing the southern field upon there with the Kuhwagen. A bit aggressive play there from Dieter. Got Reifen straight for the Kuhwagen there. He's going to need to support up there to sort of deal with that. The Kuhwagen on its own, it will not be able to really fight back against that. Of course, the Sturmpanzer arriving should give a bit of an upper hand there. Through the Germans, they've got Rearson charging against Volksman from the north here. Could try and cause something here, any sort of reinforcement to arrive. Sturmpanzer taking minor casualty, Reifen they're taking down to less than half health. Further catches piling up. There's now the full firepower the German army is unleashed against the Yankees. Blades next, and they are routed fully as well there. So, one engagement here for the Germans in the south against Asia Mint. Third round's gone away for him. Also, a big thanks to Patrick for donating and supporting the mighty propaganda cast. Big thanks to you, Patrick. You're part of my company here, and your support means a lot. Since I can keep doing this day after day. Also, if you like what I do, you can also donate. They'll donate, pledge and page. But you can also just like, subscribe, and share, and press that bell button so you're more likely to get videos. So he's a northern point here with sandbags up there for freedom and democracy. Kuban grab the southern nations point here. Sturmpanzer grab the southern victory point. Slightly pulling them back so they don't immediately go into combat situations. It's already low on health and numbers, so an engagement could end up in wasteless, pointless manpower waste. So doing this allows just, still keeping them out doing stuff without necessarily retreat them, but doesn't expose them to any danger right away. Meanwhile, we can see there Asia Mint there reacting to the initial sort of success of Dieter in the south. Is heading hard north now, beginning to divert all forces there. Pretty much conceding the south temporarily here to the Germans at least, and of course allows Dieter there to seize the south much more quietly and safely. Also going up here in a slightly broader push here, going for possibly a setup for a deep flank down the road. Third force on the way there for Dieter. There you go, Reasons versus Reifen versus Volkswagen there. Shots being fired back and forth here between the two. Volkswagen there down to, well, there you go, Jürgen dead. Reifen's squad they're holding up, but none of these suffered casualties. Volkswagen falling back into the house. And there you go, got a bit of a sneaky flank here by Asia Mint. Sneaking up, they try to harass and cut off some of Dieter's resources up north here. Volkswagen about. Fresh squad out there. Kuhwagen there moving about as well in the south. Sturm Pioneers are grabbing points as well, probably laying down some more mines, but they could soon do with being retreated. I mean, they're already low on health. Might be better just retreat them back there, maybe throw down some medical supplies, get them healed up, and get ready for the next big thing. Bit of a standoff around the centre between Asia Mint and Dieter. Kuhwagen coming up here. Got Lieutenant out there for PFC with heavy cavalry. We'll never see there's any Rangers. The thing on a map like this with a lot more sort of sharp corners and closer quarters. Ranger squad could be quite effective here versus Dieter. We got a try on the way there for the Germans. Lightly mechanized, but could be battle group headquarters. I mean, there is Firestorm, so mechanized into Firestorm into Blitz, and of course, no assault packages whatsoever. Could be like a strategy there for the Germans. Allows them to more aggressively pursue the mechanized regiment, but still provide them with healing without necessarily having to pay as much for, say, a full battle group headquarters. We've got Sturmpanzer up against Rifle forces that are being focused on as well here. Bit of shooting, bit of skirmishing. Sturmpanzer need to be careful, of course, already done one man. Again, this is sort of why I suggested yes for shooting in the first place, to get them reinforced and healed. So they didn't really do a lot of engagement, they just dropped dead. So that was a bit of a waste, to be honest. Could have been more efficient there for Dieter. Kuban there gaining mentions one Rifle in hot pursuit there across negative cover. Kuban doing what he can. Full squad remaining in position, and the Lieutenant could try and flash them out there. Any grenades would be really good for PFC. Oh, nice, using the Kuban as bait. But Asia Mint does not grab it, or at least I sense there might be some ulterior motive to the way that Dieter is moving the Kubelwagen. Mechanized regiment halfway down, seizing the northern point of the echelons. Aishamint striking back harder. The Germans, the Krauts. Kubelwagen there with 5 kills halfway to 22. Mechanized regiment almost done, and pop goes the Weasel. Still some time to go before the Luxon arrive. Aishamint's good harassment there of Dieter's fuel flow, as of course he surely can't quite easily push out the Lux. Regarding them turned away there for Aishamint. Bit of an interesting choice there. Should be expecting, at least a Lux. And since there's no access to bazookas, that makes it a bit hard to counter, so he's going to have to bet on mine stopping it maybe, or there's some other logic here that is guiding Aishamint's hand. Basil comes meowing through. Focusing northwards. Southern fuel point there almost seized here by Aishamint and the Americans. Kubelwagen almost good to go there. Halfway to Vetchin 2. In fact, it's a bit beyond that. Fresh troops setting out. Note no ambulance here for Aishamint as of yet. And they're going the South Lieutenant versus Volksgrenadiers. Bit of shooting, bit of skirmishing. Sturmpioniere setting out as well. Centre being grabbed here by the Kubelwagen. Overall broad strokes there by Dieter. Partly allowed again by the Kubelwagen. Lieutenant slowly being pushed back. We got more riflemen in here though. Will it be sufficient though to push Dieter up from the south, and will it better off focus in the north? Who knows? Got the infantry there, they're engaging the Volksgrenadiers. We've got the Lux slowly on the way there for the Germans. Ambulance were there for Aishamint and Freedom, providing necessary first aid to the troops. And we got MD-34 following up as well for Dieter, giving of course some suppressive firepower versus all of Aishamint's infantry, which is of course going to be quite crucial. Up north we've got Fulton's riflemen, seizing the northern point there as well. And Fulton's force away, still got the fuel point, almost got the southern one as well. Looks almost done. Will also be a problem here for Aishamint, who currently then has no real anti-tank weapon. I mean, we got no bazookas, or we're getting one, but even one bazooka is going to cut it a bit short there versus the Lux light tank. Okay, fighting on the south point here, we got Lux moving in, and Aishamint just doesn't have any counter-attack sort of meshes forward. I mean, there's anti-tank rifle grenades and the bazooka, and that's about it. No mines, no anti-tank guns, nothing really big here to sort of impressively stop the Lux in its tracks, giving Dieter here much more freedom of movement versus Aishamint now. Kubelwagen Vetchin 2 with 6 kills, going in aggressively there. Lux swinging softly with the resistance there, finding easy prey to tear apart. And the Kubelwagen, of course, need to be careful. Got the lieutenant opening up with his bazooka, missing the Kubelwagen though spectacularly. I imagine much to the relief of the Kubelwagen's crew, who did not really have any intention of getting blown up today. Back here, troops reinforcing, healing. No sign of doctoring yet there for Dieter. Bit of skirmishing here between the Lux and the lieutenant, but the Lux is being a bit more cautious now. The lieutenant is in heavy cover. That's going to be a bit more difficult for the Lux to deal with. Could try and rush in, but he doesn't know what's behind here with the trees, so theoretically could try and sprint behind the lieutenant, but he might risk getting hit by anti-tank rifle grenades, in which case he'd be in a lot of trouble. Still a light tank following up here for Aishamint, and I'm guessing that's going to be then a Puma up from Dieter. Very much, I would say, a common game plan there. Well, the Stuart will work nicely versus the Lux, whereas the Puma it's going to fall a bit short. And of course, that's the argument. He does force off the Puma, which then, of course, delays any heavier take. But at the same time, the Puma-Lux combo is going to be a bit of a difficult thing for Aishamint to deal with. And the Puma, of course, does also slightly work versus regular Shermans. Then again, he's gone heavy carry. There's a good chance he might just be stalling for the Pershing here, which, while less exciting, is going to be quite effective as the Puma, obviously. Lieutenant here, though, almost cut to Pastrami, and yeah, I don't think he's going to make it back home. In the south here, we got Rifleman and Kubelwagen trying to flank the anti-tank rifle grenade, but they don't actually pull it off. We got the Sturmpanzer going to test any pursuit there. Lux shouting in there, goes Studming in to the rescue here, flanking the Lux. Could get off some stun shots there. Oh, no, he's going for the briefly considered point-blank engine shot. We got the following up there with the Panzerfaust, preventing any further pursuit there and saving the Lux at the same time. Nice save there by Dieter, and Deutschland north side is being entirely lost here as Aishamint is focusing more on the south. 50 caliber heavy machine gun being brought up as well here to put pressure. on the Krauts. Rifling up support here. Another Panzerfaust Stuart light tank, decreasing the time it has to spend repairing, meaning further leaving it off the battlefield, giving Dieter more time to bring out a Puma if that is what he so desires. And there we go, we got the 234-2 on the way, aka the Puma, which was the only version of the 234 armored car that received any name. The others were just numbers. Sandbags up north, machine gun up north as well. Dieter overall in a very strong position. Puma halfway down there for the fatherland. HMIT's like where to take weapons is. Leaving in a bit of a tight spot, but there you go. Bazookas are available, ready to put some rockets into the Krauts posteriors, and we get Firestorm. Probably not any MP40s, unfortunately, just assault rifles, but we're likely going to see the Orbital Blitz then being used as an ambulance there for Dieter any moment now. Puma's arriving. Trenti moving in there, hosting over this 50 caliber. Fult's going to be routed. In the center we got the Sturmpionier. A bit of engagement there you go. Got the Orbital Blitz out there for Dieter and Deutschland. Blazer being suppressed. MG44 opening up. Got the M20 moving in. Puma moving in. Direct hit there on the M20 utility car. Rockets flying here after the Puma. Shots miss. Fult's going to be advancing here on the American possessions. Northern field plan being lost to the armies. And we got the Stuart doing what he can, of course, trying to stay cautiously at distance here to avoid getting, knocked out by Puma. The Bazooka team trying to act in ambush there, but can't quite pull it off. Sturmpanzer close in and pretty much ruin the surprise there. Of course, we could have surprised the Puma with the Bazooka team. That been pretty great then, but still in conjunction with then shell shock, made it make it much harder for the Puma to get out of there. Or say a point blank engine shot. Oh wait, whatever you could have done then to make it harder for the Puma to escape would have been great there for HMIT. We got another try on the way here for Dieter already from the Schwerpanzer quarters. I mean, that's special. It would be very strange for him to go for the Battle Group Headcraft and for the Blitz. There you go, sorry about that. That's Basil stepping on the keyboard as he climbs onto me. Because he's a nice little kitty. But at times likes to cling to me. Got the 5th Covers, the looks in the north. That is not a winning engagement there for the 5th Cover crew at all. Not a winning engagement at all. Quite the opposite, he just needs to retreat the machine gun before it ends up in the hands of the German army. Which of course would make Dieter quite happy, but obviously would bring great sadness to HMIT and to Patton. I got an M1 entertaining on the way there for HMIT as well. Haven't gone for the Captain to help deal with the light vehicles. Though I think it also further reinforces it's going to be a Pershing sword. He's probably going to get double anti-tank guns alongside bazookas and whatnot, and then he's just going to try and buy time for the Pershing. Puma moving in here. Shoots and misses the M20. Raffen doing what it can, but it's ultimately not quite enough. North side once more being claimed there by the German army. Cap Raffen in there. Volkswagen is routed by the south. Back here, troops reinforcing, healing, looks or cool by need repairs. All Blitz there standing about. Stuart opening up there as well. One kill close to Vet 21. Very close, but not quite there. Raffen caught on the wrong side of the sandbags as they leave them down. Puma moving in, got Lux moving in as well, and there's just an M20 to provide covering fire support, which versus the Puma is not going to cut it. Even versus the Lux, it's not going to cut it. Like, it's not really good versus vehicles, not anymore. From north here, Fult's buying time. I think it's just acting as a distraction. They're keeping HMIT from moving Stuart elsewhere, and there we go, routed. Duplicate moving in, Stuart M20 northwards, Puma moving northwards as well. Anti-tank gun is heading southwards. A lot of action here in the centre. We got the 5th gun moving forwards as well. Reaction being suppressed here by Dieter's well positioned machine gun giver. Got the Stuart moving in. There may of course be a Puma hiding in the tree line. There you go. Machine gun with the Stuart light tank. That's going to be a win there for the Stuart, unless of course the Puma arrives, which it inevitably does. Send a bit of skirmish there. Ooh, machine gun almost taken out in fact, and there go wiped up. There's a small win there for HMIT. There's a small win. Got the race and they're trying to flank in. Machine gun recruit here, but the Fulton would have to retreat anyways. In the centre here, the fighting continues with Fulton basically stalling up 2 units there from Asia Mint. And the Germans, while the south is largely falling back under German control there. Kuhlwagen charging in there halfway to Vetzendy 3. They could get taken out here, but the 5th Cavalry's not careful. Stuart versus Puma, that is very much a win there for the Puma. Having overall better range and doing more damage than this to a light tank. Back in FFA going there for Asia Mint. Rangers I think still could be a good addition here, or adding some BARs to push in the infantry. Either way, more anti-infantry measures would be really great here for Asia Mint versus Dieter. As for Dieter, of course, we've got the Schwer punted quarters up, Pantherization ready as well. He could go for some Obersoldaten. I imagine he's going to go for a fast Panther 4. There we go, Obersoldaten. I mean, if I look at the playstyle, he's starting to look more and more like, I would say, Joe, but again, I cannot confirm. Directly. Though he's also number 1 with the Surge and the Wehrmacht, so there's a good chance that is Joe. We got troops in Norfolk here. Still doing what he can there. 5 kills, Veteran G2 in service of democracy. Trying to hang Suffix there again. H-Men having a bit better back control now versus Joe, but Dieter there. Good hit there on the Stuart light tank. We got the Obersoldaten out here for Dieter. Should likely add some light machine guns to further increase the firepower versus the armies. So as for Dampton Gangsters, we'll have to see what he actually goes for. I mean, there's not really much else you can go for. So, I mean, you're not going for Obersoldaten light machine guns. You're not really going for the Obersoldaten in the first place. Oh yeah, I mean, Basil agrees very much with that assessment. And there you go. Got the U-35 upgrade there on the way for the Obersoldaten. Anti-tank guns are great here in the looks. Not quite enough though, but a nice hit. Kuhlwagen sees in the centre victory point with all the folks in the centre there, south. Good play there by Dieter. Good play. Exploiting Asia Mint's blind spots with the Kugelwagen. There you go, infinite assault going in, and we got a Flammhetzer, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting a Flammhetzer. That definitely screams more and more Joe, since Joe I feel like is the player who's usually more likely to experiment, you know, go off the beaten path, compare it with Nick, who feels like, you know, much more of a safe player, if you will. I mean, I could be wrong here, but Flammhetzers, Obersoldaten, Kugelwagens, definitely not your usual Oberkommando West meta. Basil agrees strongly. North got the stood here as the Fultz Grenadiers. Got the 5th Cavalry anti-tank on the way there for Asia Mint to bring up more supportive fire there versus Dieter. And likely, I think, going to be part of an overall plan there to stall for the Pershing. There we go, we got the Major on the way as well. So now Asia Mint's going to basically just try and buy time and get out the Pershing. Fuel cache would be a good addition in, good due to increasingly good fuel harassment there by Dieter, and thusly slowing down Asia Mint's path toward that. Flammhetzer. It certainly, I think, indicates here that Dieter's feeling very confident about the situation in terms of resource. Like, he's got the fuel edge over his opponent. He can get away with rushing out of Flammhetzer. He knows he's not going to get punished by a tank, which would really be the main issue for the Flammhetzer. Like, if there's a tank on the field, it becomes a lot less effective. Well, anything bigger than Stuart, that is. But as the situation currently is, which is a lot of support weapons, the Flammhetzer can work. Can, of course, add the Pinmont machine gun there to add a bit of extra anti-infantry. Flammhetzer was not really made in large numbers. It was basically just a sub-variation on the regular Hetzer. I think there's about, like, a dozen of them made or so. Primarily used on the Western Front by the doing Operation Nordwind to help clear out the Maginot Line there. And there we go, we got the 5th Cavalry being burned, scorched, roasted. Up north here we got this dude here going for the Kuhlwagen, which is now virtually free, and it escapes heroically. In the centre, Sturmpanzers versus the M20. Artillery fire raining down from something. Oh, it looks a bit of just shots going off. Flammhetzer there adding the panel mounted MG34. Pulls with us is to a light tank. Damage engine. Flammhetzer setting out. As for the regular Hetzer, that one actually played a crucial role in the late stages of the Wehrmacht, and in fact saw service roughly beginning, I think, early 1944 on the Eastern Front. It came very late to the Western Front. It was basically late 1944 that actually managed there, but before that played a rather crucial role as it was quickly becoming a tank destroyer that sought usage throughout a lot of German independent tank destroyer battalions on the Eastern Front. Note though, the Hetzer was not actually designed as a tank destroyer. It was designed as an assault gun, similar to the Stug. It was just basically Guderian who wanted control of as many assault guns since he couldn't get control of the actual Stug, and then he just redesignated them as tank destroyers. But you can actually sort of see how it was employed. For example, like a lot of infantry divisions suddenly got them in the tank destroyer companies, but in reality, again, they were just Stugs and they were designed as Stugs. In fact, when they were used by the Hungarians, they were basically just put into assault gun battalions. So, I mean, again, while the regular Hetzer was designated as a tank destroyer, it was very much just an assault gun. And with troop charging 40, we got another trot on the way there for Mr. Dieter there. Might be then setting up for a King Tiger. And we got the Veteran 3 Kuhwagen encountering a large swath of American infantry, bazooka fire, bar fire there. Kuhwagen may not make it back home for sauerkraut. We got the Lux hanging about. We got a booby traps on the southern fuel point there, very good. Up north, heavy fighting ensues over the victory point here with the 9, or fuel point there with the 9, start really getting back closer. We got 439 versus 230. Assault that comes to the south, and there we go. It looks almost down into the double anti-tank guns, but it does manage to quickly veer off. He even orders it to hold fire to ensure it does not give away its position and retreats. Oberstleutnant Nevis advancing right from Kuhwagen there, taking a far southern path here. Oberstleutnant needs to pop a grenade or just retreat soon. And we got minefields up pretty much, meaning the boob trap won't go off. Oberstleutnant there could be a bit of trouble. Mine spotted as well. And the Kuhwagen does seem to be successfully escaping by way of repairing itself as it goes, thanks to this veteran free bonus. Flammhetzer the strikes for the fatherland, catching both anti-tank guns in a sudden incendiary rain. Standoff over the northern fuel point there continues between Dieter and Aschamint in the south. Got a big infantry push here, strange a lot of rifle and the camp with BRs. Not a good engagement at all for Dieter's forces. They are just toast out in the open there. The only thing that can make it worse is like he'd research grenades. We do get grenades to the Banhand grenade to flash them out of cow, and got the Kuhwagen moving in. Closing in Metzny 4. Could we actually see an ace Kuhwagen here? And the mine wasn't dealt with, so it actually goes off in a retreating unit. Puma getting Vetri 2. Hot pursuit, there's a steward. 50 cal popping armor, pitching around to slightly do more damage here to the Puma, but I don't think it's going to be enough. We got the antennas they're setting up. Could they take out the Puma here? And the Puma goes down. A shattering blow there to Dieter and Deutschland, with the steward surviving. Don't think so that one coming. Meanwhile, that puts all the work there on the or the weight on the Flammpanzer Hetzer's shoulder there. Kuhwagen was resistance here by the southern fuel point. Both sides, though, are clearly some time off from whatever big tank they want to go for. And of course, bigger difference, of course, is that Dieter there has still a bunch of units. Of course, so does Aschamint. So yeah, Flammhetzers. Kind of wish they'd gone for the regular Hetzer. Would have made a lot more sense, to be honest. Also been a bit more useful, but that's that. You know, there's also a sub-version of the Hetzer, similar to the Flammhetzer. I think only one was ever made. It basically had a 75mm gun mounted on it, like a howitzer. I think it would actually have been 150mm all the way, basically sort of a artillery piece there. So make it work like, you know, the Sturmhaubitze or the Stu 42. And they actually, very late in the war, tried to make a fully armoured half-track or armoured personnel carrier APC out of it. They're known as the Volkette. Not half-track, but, you know, fully armoured personnel carrier. They're open-topped. They were fun fact there. Stuart going here for the Lux though, very low on health there. Stuart, they're taking heavy damage though from the Schwerpunted quarters. It does save the Lux here from the Stuart light tank, though there's a really close one there. Stuart gets away again. Artillery fire raining up north here. Raining death there upon his position. Machine gun ultimate got wiped out here. Could end up here in the hands of Aschamint. Some brutal fighting here between Dieter and Aschamint. Forces moving in there. Stuart doing what he can here. Veteran 3, 10 kills. And a Stuart crew there proved to be a formidable foe there for Dieter and his friends. Back here, human reinforcement. Flammheads are setting out again. Close to Veteran 2-1 there.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Full to the round by the 5th cover of the Rifle, and then of course got the reason of the bazookas. Not that they're really adding much to the anti-infantry equation, but you know. Flamheads moving ahead here. 2 kills. Moving ahead, they're straight to the bazooka teams. Good few hits there on the Flamheads, pushing it down to almost half health there. In the south, we got the Major, we got Vehicle Room, we got Rifle moving out there, and of course, got another booby trap here from Dieter. Very good. He is a believer in the booby trap. Ooh, he could move off the point here and that was set off the booby trap. Or maybe somebody did enough damage, so there's an increased chance of getting a wipe on the Rifle, and that'd be pretty interesting. That was actually his move. That'd be pretty cheeky. Rifle retreating, so I guess not. Panzer first understood light tank, Luke's moving in. And we got Incendiarma pitching out here for the U-34 under Dieter's command. Sounds like a vehicle being murdered by the Obersoldaten. In the center, Fulls running into a pretty big obstacle there in the form of the 50 caliber. Reason's carrying fire against any armor, though only as much as they can, you know, avoid getting burned to death, but the Flamheads at distance. And there we go, veterans one for the Flampanzer. 38 Hetzer. Clearing out the bazooka teams and tanks are all covering fire as well. Flamheads, they're taking a few hits. It's 60mm of sloped armor bouncing some shots, but obviously there are limits to that. Seizing the southern point. Troops being suppressed here, almost pinned down. In fact, they do render the fuel point neutral. But still, Aishament is getting close to the Pershing there. But at the moment, of course, he's still going to be able to get out Pershing faster than Dieter can get out King Tiger. And it definitely seems like both are now setting up for the biggest of bigly tanks. Sturmpioniere setting out. Orbs on there, booby trapping another point. Very nice. The Germans were quite keen on booby trapping things, using a variety of methods, though. I mean, they even booby trap mines. I don't think they're going to include that in the game, but it would be fun if they did. Sort of. Unless, of course, want them to deal with it. Bomb grenades going to need it. Oh, there we go. Retreat happens. Captain almost taken out. So many booby traps going off here under the nose of Aishament. Sturmpani is also taking heavy casualties from the Rifleman. 10 kills, 23 falls moving ahead. Flampanzer behind covering fire. The Rifleman sent back packing. And Aishament really is getting close, but he's all following so much map. I mean, the fuel cache would be a great idea now. I mean, he's got enough resources for it, because A, meaning get out of the Pershing just a bit faster, but also very crucial, we set him up for getting up tanks to support the Pershing faster. And that sort of double effect, I think, would be really great for Aishament, in particular since the Germans can't do that unless they go for elite armor and get out of 223, and we've seen how that's effective. But so far, of course, he's gone for Feuersturm, so there's no dice there. I mean, the Oberblitz can't do anything about that. Looks at gating vehicle up north here. Almost ace level there. Note, by the way, with the ambulance in the space, he's been setting up the Belgrade headquarters more aggressively to form up a more fort retreat point there for his force, or retreat point sort of point to form around and fight around, reinforce around. Not something we see a lot there, but again, that's also what the Oberblitz allows you to do effectively. Flamheads moving in there, go at the 28, almost 29 minute mark here. Aishament can call in the Pershing. Major almost cooked alive. That would certainly have been a major cook-off. We got smokes in there on the MU-34 as Fanik is in the north here. Anti-tanks can get in the looks. Almost got it. No abilities used here. No take aim. That's stepping the other side there. Pershing rolling out there with its 90mm gun. Shoots, misses the Obersoldaten, but very much sends a message that either they're going to run or they're going to die. MU-34 was cleared out. The Pershing charging ahead there. A cavalry charge there from Aishament in the north here. Riding through Dieter's collapsing north front. In the south of the Flamheads holds it up entirely on its own, on its Atlas-like shoulders. And there you go. In the end, not far off here from the King Tiger though, from Dieter. The Königstiger ist gefechtsbereit. ready to give Asia-Mint a bit of a rougher time as well. Again, Asia-Mint really would benefit from a fuel cache. It's got the Pershing Wing Head shoots. Good hit there on the MG-34 Kenworth returns the Fable with its 88mm rocket. Flumhetzer remains just where it is, nice and dandy. And we got the King Tiger Wing from the north. Shoots, misses, I guess. I'm not entirely sure what to hit there. We're hoping to set something off. Flumhetzer holding off into the south. And then we got here the Stuart setting up for deep flank against Dieter's position. Got the antennas up with the King Tiger. No arm-piercing rounds yet here from them. Oh, there you go. No take aim though. Also good ability to remember you have it there. Definitely going to know how to say there by Asia-Mint. He does not use that as it is a very effective ability. Either way, King Tiger gets away there with some hits going through. Southern flank continues there versus Dieter. We got the Flumhetzer there going straight from the exposed machine gun crew. A build rate there. And there you go. Almost clears out in particular joined in by the opposite. And there's a lot of damage. And there you go. The 50 kilo crew is taught. Kaput. Vernichtet. Looks they're gaining ace level there. Got the shooter on the hot pursuit. Of course, need to be careful of Panzerfaust there from the full Skandira, and they do get it off there. A nice Panzerfaust rocket. Piercing the Stuart's light tank. 50 got the crew again under the Orbital Dardan's watchful eyes, and they obviously don't intend to let one pass and wipe it out again. Good work there by Dieter. Pershing, though, is there to try and make sure the Orbital don't run off with him. There you go, he just destroys it instead. Another big push in the south here from Asia-Mint, trying to play around Dieter's strong point. Fuel cache would still be a great idea. Assault continuing, there you go. King Tiger in the way with its 88mm gun. Backed up by the Orbital Dardan. American infantry dropping dead. Like lemmings. Captain down, meaning now Asia-Mint has no captain or lieutenant, just the major. The rest of his officers have perished in fight against the most naughty Kraut commander Dieter. Bit quiet for the time being, but there you go. Fresh action resumes in the south here between Dieter and Asia-Mint as the suit engages the full Skandira of Norfolk Point there being seized by the MG-34 crew. Flumhetzer has 6 kills, Veterancy 2. King Tiger's heading out. Asia-Mint closing in on the Sherman. Got a bit longer there for a Jackson tank destroyer, though I think he's going to go for that. And again, fuel cache really would help him up towards that, to be honest. I'm a bit surprised he's not going for any fuel caches, to be honest. Truth be told. Folded under fire there. MG-34 being assaulted with the rifleman. Quickly being suppressed. Pinned down to the ground, there you go. Pershing charges in. 3 kills, close veterans 1. That machine gun crew may not make it back home. But there's certainly a chance it does. In the south, King Tiger there routing whatever is left there for Asia-Mint. Stuart there getting Panzerfaust, and that's going to be the death knell for that one. Damaged engine, nowhere to go with a King Tiger bang down upon it. Like a ton of bad news. And there you go, the Stuart light tank combusts, leaving no survivors. Troops heading out, advancing straight into the Orbital Dardan here. 20 kills. Pershing shoots, misses. 21 kills. Veterancy 3 gains. Sehr gut. Major moving out, and you've heard for opening up. Eventually the 4 gained in the machine gun crew, and there you go, lots of infantry there in the open. That's the King Tiger machine gun and the Flumhetzer. Really bad battle on there for Asia-Mint. He needs to get his troops out there fast. King Tiger taking control of the anti-tank guns. Not firing arm piercing rounds, of course, no take aim. King Tiger does escape here. Major almost wiped out. And we got artillery called in here by Asia-Mint on the Kedma machine gun position. A bit late to the party there, still gets 1 kill. We got 369 versus 129. briefly considered a lot of rifles. Still no Rangers, no Caches. Can soon go for the Jackson Tank Destroyer, but certainly feels like HMint is struggling a bit in terms of strategy versus Dieter and how to deal with it. I mean, again, Dieter is not playing a usual Oberkommando strategy, and that might make it harder for HMint to come up with a clear course of action here as how to dismantle it, which of course is only to the advantage of Dieter and the Germans. Got smoking in again there from HMint, again on the machine gun. But not enough to stop the looks from just flanking the machine gun from another position, where it's also recently covered by from the anti-tank guns. Bad news there for HMint. A lot of map being flowed there by HMint. Definitely again should be spending on something, fuel caches for armor, and then maybe some ranges. I think some good assault MD could give Dieter perhaps a bit of a harder time. And there you go, M36 Jackson Tank Destroyer on the way for HMint. Brafner caught here by the King Tiger's mighty gun line. Note, while he's actually using spearhead mode, which of course gives a few slight bonuses, including suppression. Note that the ability never mentions that, but it does have some light suppression on it. Reds, they're almost being wiped out. M36 Jackson halfway done. Of North Pershing basically acting like a small motorized bunker to keep the North out of Dieter's hands. Ramblers, the Oberstein saying they're about to get cleared out. There you go, a big blow there to HMint. His ace anti-tanker crew has perished, meaning he's got an anti-tanker that is, well, even with cruiser, it's just not be shooting as fast nor as damagingly, as it has less penetration now. So that's a pretty nice win there for Dieter, even like he doesn't destroy the anti-tank gun and it gets recruited. I mean, it's still not going to be quite nearly as effective. Anti-tank gun close, but not quite within range. There you go, actually uses take aim. No more piercing rounds though. Well, no more armor piercing rounds, I mean. It automatically fires me, you just need to be discarding several rounds. But there you go, King Tiger down to half health. And both anti-tank and Vetri 3 there have been, I think, a much worse situation there for the King Tiger. Particularly popped armor piercing rounds and both at take aim. There might even be a small chance of destroying the King Tiger, to be honest. Small chance, not big. King Tiger head destroying the anti-tanker with a single well-placed shot, depriving HMint of another anti-tanker because he's going for another 5th caliber. We've got the tank to destroy out there, the M36 Jackson. King Tiger going for the Pershing, almost got it. We got Betty 2 on the King Tiger by 15 kills. Troops being suppressed. Quiet northern victory point being seized there as Dieter sneaks in, skulks through blind spots in HMint's front to hit it. Pushing him further down the victory point line. Good play there by Dieter. Good play. King Tiger pulled back for repairs. Flamheads and Barway is still operable. 8 kills. Very, very, very slowly approaching Vetri 3. Pershing, they're being repaired, even using the Jackson crew to assist with it. He actually should put all over the spare crew there. I think that was from M20, whatever, to give the Jackson a bit more experience right away. Like the faster you can get that Jackson up, saving veterans, one I think would be great there for HMint. I don't think he actually does that though. Some players are not quite as good at maximising the efficiency of American tank crews there to get the critical units experience faster. Who's been blasted? Raven almost taken out. And nope, as you might notice, he uses his utterly inexperienced crew to pop into the tank destroyer rather than his more experienced crew. Even though like it wasn't veterans, one have been closer to that. So bit of an oversight there, I would say, by HMint. Pershing there hammering away, Raven being murdered in the centre here by the MD34, firing over the incendiary armor pistol rounds. In fact, it's about to hit the ace level. There we go. Definitely bad news for Raven. Flamheads coming up, but only to get blasted by the Jackson. Of course, got the Kemper ready to then respawn back on the Jackson tank destroyer. Another hit on the Flamheads up. Machine gun just continues to murder away, and there you go. Raven caught in absolute hell there. Need to retreat soon. Of North here, victory point being grabbed back by the American fuel point as well. Pershing charges in. So there you go. Look, Headner lands a decent hit. Pershing sort of returns to favour, but not quite sufficiently either. Another hit there. Another shot, very close to the ace level there as well on that one. Very close. Lots of repairs happening here for Dieter and Deutschland. Really should be using that crew a bit more on the Jackson there. Got the King Tiger sending out. Spearhead mode active. Oh, close hitting the cruisers. They're repairing the Pershing, but not quite. Not quite. In the south, he folks with some amazing riflemen. Lots of bars there. No chance for the Volksgrenadiers. No chance whatsoever. Folks are caught here by the Pershing there as well. Halfway 23. King Tiger hitting by there from the Jackson tank shot and the anti-tank gun there. Something heavy damage. Got rocket strike called in there though. Nope, by a lot of munitions there from Dieter. A lot of munitions. Rockets flying down, mostly knocking out snow, maybe a few squirrels, but no Americans. Finally in the center, they've got Raven caught with the machine gun, the Obersladen, and the Flammhetzer. A trifecta of doom there. Need to fix up the Königstiger again. Got the machine gun sitting out there, but the Obersladen could clear it out. They're in fact very close to the ace level themselves. They do get suppressed. Giving the anti-tank the chance to escape there. Very lucky for Eschament. Would have been, I think, a very bad spot for him to lose his other anti-tank gun as well there to the Germans. Rifleman sitting out. And we got the Flammhetzer striking forwards. Murdering away there. Almost got the 50 crew there annihilated, but not quite. Another timed incendiary pistol round uses there by Dieter. Very good, very good. Major strength to the MG34. Closing in Metro 3, we've got a smoke screen down there on the MG34. I don't think it's going to matter much there though. And there you go, King Tiger striking northwards, shots bouncing off its thick frontal armour. Good hit in the infantry and the support weapons. Hit from the King, Jack goes through the King Tiger's armour. Another nice hit there, 21 kills, very, very close to Veteran 3. Obersladen moving up there, 32 kills. Luke sitting out, up north here, finding another point here. Pershing remains a middle readout here, which the rest of Eschement's forces can hide behind, but certainly seems to be trying to give it away there. Ralph's about to get wiped out. Jackson charges in. We just lost a unit. Another unit down here for Eschament. His forces are bleeding out. Lots of hits in the King Tiger. Very, very close to 53 there. Almost got it. That is the Pershing, but not quite. 25 points left for Eschament. The situation is starting to look pretty dire here. Pretty dire. Is there anything you can do to turn this around once more? Is there anything you can do whatsoever? Charging ahead here. No additional tanks probably called in. That's definitely something you're doing. You know, more armor, more tank destroyers, and more infantry. But seems like Eschament here might be in a slight rot. Mentally. Oh, nice flank of the Kednev on the Jackson tank. So machine about to get wiped out here with the Rifleman. Nope, he's reinforcing it here. And we got Lux joining in. They're about to get wiped out. Really close here. At this point, he's reinforcing it faster than the Rifleman can kill the crew members. Flammhetzer, they're very close to actually 3. 11 points left here for Eschament as Dieter exerts more influence in the north. And there you go, flanking the Jackson tanks with the Volksgrenadiers. King Tiger's good to go again. Ready to unleash hell on the armies once more. And there you go, anti-tank gun crew expires. And with that, Eschement's spirit, like his forces, break under the repeated blows there of Dieter and Deutschland. A brutal fight here on Ladoga Karelia between two clearly experienced players. In the end, though, Dieter was the better one. Again, I suspect it's Joe. At least I sort of get the sense of the place by this Joe. Though again, I cannot confirm it, so I won't directly say it is. And look at this by accident. But I thought it was a quite interesting match. Did not watch so often. We get to see Flammenhetzers, we had Orbel Blitzers, we got the Coolwagen, we had Orbelsalam. We had a lot of stuff there. So I think it was a good fight. But Aisha there could have used the resource more efficiently. And I think could have flanked more. And I definitely feel like some range has been a very good investment as well. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. If you did, like, subscribe, and, you know, press the bell button. This is Pro Links. Cheers. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.